It's 3 a.m. and you swear you just finally fell asleep. You hear your baby cry. You look over and surely you'll see your husband getting up, getting ready to go get your child. Wrong. There he is, knocked out snoring. How does he not hear her? I'm thinking. Ugh, I say loudly as I make sure to over-exaggerate my movement just so I can wake him up. Now he's awake, clearly upset that I woke him up. I go get our daughter. There's no guide to parenting. There's no book or conversation you can have to help you prepare. You basically learn as you go. When you become a parent, you have to work hand in hand with your partner. It can put a stress on your relationship first as you learn to rely on each other. I am a new parent to a 1-year-old daughter. I believe that unwanted patterns of negative communication can be broken with a theory known as coordinated management of meaning, CMM. First, I will tell you more about my case and then review the theory and concepts, and then finally apply these concepts before discussing applications. The personal stories I will be discussing with you will be of my own. They will be about my first year of parenting with my husband. Our daughter will be 2 in January, so these stories are all new. According to the Journal of Marriage and Family, the relationship between communication skills, marital, and satisfaction. This journal is from November 1997 from Brant Berson from Purdue University. It states that research indicates that communication patterns are the major source of interpersonal difficulties. For example, most marital and family problems stem from misunderstanding, from ineffective communication, which results in frustration and anger when expectations and desires are not fulfilled. In a journal called Short and Long-Term Health Consequences of Sleep Disruption, this journal is by Gordon Medic in 2017. It says that for healthy adults, short-term consequences of sleep disruption include increased stress, pain, reduced quality of life, emotional distress and mood disorders, cognitive, memory, and performance deficits. There are many highs as well as lows, mainly because of sleepless nights. Those sleepless nights, I learned, can break you. On one particular night, my husband and I were sleeping. We were both extremely tired. Our daughter had started to cry. We both laid in the bed, hoping that each other would get up. I got up and said some not so nice words, which led to an argument. I went to bed boiling mad. We were not communicating effectively. My question for this case is, do all new parents have trouble with communication in the beginning of parenthood? Now that I've presented my case, let's talk about my chosen theory, coordinated management of meaning. So, coordinated management of meaning is a person's conversation co-construction, their own social realities, and they're simultaneously shaped by the words that we create. There are 2 concepts of this theory, and the first one is we get what we make. Peirce explains that if your patterns of interaction contain destructive accusations and reactive anger, you will most likely make a defensive relationship. The second one is get the pattern right, create better outcomes. This is when you're being mindful of the other person in the conversation. Now that I've told you about the theory, I will tell you about 2 claims. So the goal of this analysis is to apply the 2 claims to create a better communication pattern for my husband and I. I'm making the claim that when we don't use coordinated actions as parents, it can result to unwanted repetitive patterns. My second claim is that you need dialogue with your partner to create better outcomes. In the Communication Studies journal called How Do You Like Forgiveness? It says that according to Kelly's 1998 initial study of forgiveness communication, direct forgiveness clearly communicates forgiveness and often invites dialogue. Indirect forgiveness, granting, does just the opposite. It suggests forgiveness without discussion. Now that I've told you about these claims, I have 3 positive communication practices. The first one is take ownership of the way I react. I should listen without being defensive. Use more I statements instead of you statements. I've noticed with my husband that I should pay more attention to nonverbal cues. A lot of times that my husband will actually show how he's feeling before he says how he's feeling. That would actually stop a lot of arguments there if I actually paid attention to that a lot more. So unwanted repetitive patterns can be broken by using coordinated management of meaning. I've realized that we shape our own reality. So by realizing that, we create better communication patterns and we'll be able to communicate more effectively. So we'll be able to communicate more effectively by using active listening, I statements, and just paying more attention to nonverbal cues. Some nights we still barely get any sleep, but now it's easier now that we know how to be teammates and communicate our stressors with each other.